Okay, well, speaking of Mom and Mother's Day, did you see the Time magazine cover?
I did. I saw that last night.
I think everybody has seen it, and everybody has their own opinions. Some people quite upset. The cover, look at that, shows a Los Angeles mother breastfeeding her almost 4-year-old son, and the caption asks, "Are you mom enough?" Well, the story inside is about Dr. Bill Sears' controversial parenting method called attachment parenting, where children do a lot with their parents. They sleep with their parents, and they are breastfed as long as possible. And the mother in this particular cover on that, she was actually breastfed till around 6 years old. People are upset.
Right, and she has 2 sons. One's around 4, one's 5. The 5-year-old is adopted. So, you know, that's interesting. I also, you know, have to think so many topics come into play with this. But what about her son that's on that cover? He's now, every kid at school he ever goes to school with is going to see it. And whether or not you're for it or against it, I mean, kids torment at times at school, to say the least, or, you know, maybe, I just don't know if that's right to do to your kid, maybe.
To put on the cover, correct.
Right.
I mean, I'm all for breastfeeding. I breastfeed my kids, and I think it's a great health benefit to your children as well. I mean, that's the main promotion. I'm not sure what kind of benefit it provides at that point when the kids are old enough to actually, and there's also controversy that it doesn't bring on the independence that should be
and
nurtured at that point.
And I can totally see that point and kind of agree with that. And, you know, also you have to think that, I totally just lost my train of thought. You have to think, though, that when you get to a certain age in our culture, you know, it's really not, it's not widely accepted, very controversial, and that's what they think might have been the purpose for that cover.
And you know, my parents, I'm a first generation here. In Korea, everybody breastfeeds, you know, unless there's some kind of medical issue. And I think in Europe as well.
Until you're
no, not till that age. Okay. Just breastfeeding in general. It's the age discrepancy.
It's the age that's kind of the big issue.
Right. If they can talk and ask you for it, maybe it's time to wean. Okay, let's move on now. We're going to move on to a more just fun issue. We're talking about Nik Wallenda, and we were always wondering if the slip that he had when he was in Baltimore, in the Inner Harbor. Was it not? Ed Dranch caught up with him and his father yesterday as they were in Niagara Falls preparing to start their practice sessions this weekend. Right. And hear what they say really happened.
He's quite a showman, and you know, when he can even fool me for a second there, it's pretty good.
What are you hearing behind the scenes? Was it a slip, or did he mean to do it?
You know, I think it was kind of half and half. It was an unused cable, brand new. It hadn't been stretched yet, and it rolled under his feet a little bit.
It's just normal to me, and then I'll get out and do it. There's no special kung fu move or anything that I do. It's just life.
Okay, what do you think? Was it planned? Was it just off the cuff? What do you think?
I just think that it's too big a risk, you know, to have that. Too much of a gamble.
I think it was a true slip, and he
just
doesn't want to admit it. And I'm gonna, if Em's listening, I want her to make a poll question to ask the viewers if they think that he meant to do it or was it an accident. So hopefully we can get that on WingIt.tv's Facebook page, and we'll talk about it maybe later if Emily has time. But, you know, also interesting, I found out that Nik Wallenda, that's his mother's last name.
Yes. Did you notice that the father, Joe and I were talking about it this morning, I said, the father has a different last name.
Right.
He took on his mother. His mother is actually the one, of the Wallendas. And this one kind of choked me up. Her father is the one who died in the fall in Puerto Rico.
I know.
They actually did like I guess a commemorative memorial walk, and they crossed on the same, over the same place at the place where he fell to his death.
Very touching.
I mean, that's a very, you know, daring family.
And if you are interested in this stuff, I went on to the Wallenda tab on our website. There is so much information, videos to watch of his grandfather, about the Wallendas. It's really kind of fascinating.
And as we were talking about, he will start practices tomorrow at the Niagara Casino. We'll have all the information on our website.
And the weather is going to be a big factor. And kind of speaking of the weather, Prince Charles took a hand at trying to do the weather report, and he did a very good job. So.
That's right. You hear it. Take a look and listen. He just happened to be stopping by the BBC and decided, you know what, I'll give it a whirl.
Well, it's an unsettled picture as we head towards the end of the week. This afternoon it'll be cold, wet and windy across most of Scotland. We're under the influence of low pressure, and this weather front pushing northwards is bringing cloud and outbreaks of rain. The rain, of course, will be heaviest over the borders and around.
he swore.
I think he did swear.
Very mild one.
I think he did a really good job, and I also think when you add a British accent to an American, it just sounds, much more, a bit better.
Exactly. And, he and his wife Camilla were just taking a tour, and he decided, maybe he's thinking of plan B in case, as they say, he has skipped over for the king,
Right.
the crown. You never know. He did pretty well.
He's very good, and when you see other people kind of hop up in front of a weather screen that don't normally do it, they're kind of all disoriented. Where do I look? What do I do? I think he has a future if he wants to do a weather forecast.